Good morning, everyone. It's your girls from Obscuration, me, Tay, her, Dana. And today we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the TikTok ban hitting, and I'm not going to lie, I am surprised that it actually hit so efficiently and effectively for the Americans banning TikTok over there.
Yes.
Because I 100% didn't believe that it was actually going to go through or be a thing. I figured by now the Americans would be like, we were wrong. Just let the people have it. Because I didn't think, and I should have just assumed, that the American politicians would be this stupid. I don't know if you watched the video I sent you yesterday, I think. I'm pretty sure it was you I sent it to. Where it's about that new app, Red Note.
Oh, yes. I
Which
didn't watch
is
the video, but I've heard of Red Note.
So I've heard more and more about it. Yesterday was the first time that I actually really saw a video about it. And one of the people were talking about it and saying how, in order to use the app, you have to actually say that you will follow the Chinese dictatorship guidelines in order to use it. And people are like, okay, and going with it, which makes me laugh.
Because I need my social media fix.
That was exactly my thought. I'm like, okay, so you want to be the freest country in the world over here, but when given the option of no TikTok or following something that has a dictator regime, they went with the communisms. I was like,
Honest
you went
to
with the
Pete.
communists? Seriously? Like, okay. But it gets better. They also had clips of all of these people's videos where they're talking about it, and they're talking about the prices of food over there versus over here. And they're doing the conversion rates and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the Americans are now finally starting to put together that they are not, in fact, the best country in the world. So for example, they did the comparison of like grabbing corn on the cob. So over in the States, it was, I think the one guy said it was like, we'll say about $5 for, I'm assuming the Americans do it the same way as us, like a dozen. So for a dozen pieces of corn on the cob, it was whatever, $5. Or you get it in China, and it was 34 cents. And the people are like, what the fuck? And then there's a whole bunch of other ones that are all food product related stuff where it's the drastic pricing difference, the difference in food pricing all over the place, where they're like, what the hell? So the guy who was doing the clip on it was talking about how it's like, oh, so maybe this is why the Americans didn't want us using the Chinese stuff. Not because they were going to be doing spying on us or spyware or anything like that, but because then the Americans would finally figure out that, hey, there's free health care, there's affordable food. The one was comparing vehicle prices.
Okay.
Like a normal, just like van by the looks of it, kind of looked like an Odyssey. $15,000, brand spanking new, fresh off the lot for in China versus I think the Americans are similar to us where it's like 30 to 40 grand for a vehicle. So they're like, what the hell? How come theirs is so cheap? So I think the American government might have made an oopsie. Very, very big one. Just because I can see this coming back to bite them in the ass just based on fucking pricing of food, let alone vehicles and everything else.
Well, um, while you're talking about pricing, I'm going to talk about what I watched on, I want to say CNN. It was either North or South Carolina, the
Okay.
governor.
Okay, yeah.
When the Supreme Court made their final ruling on the ban going through, despite efforts to
halt it.
delay it. I think he was the owner of TikTok or the creator or something, but his Mr. Chu.
Yes, I would say the video that he did.
No, not the video he did. This was an actual clip from the legal proceedings where the governor from one of the Carolinas said to him, "Do you need Wi-Fi to use TikTok?" And he's like, "Yes." He's like, "You need the internet to use the app." And the governor says something along the lines of, "If it's your home Wi-Fi and you connect to TikTok, does this now give you access to everything else in the house that runs on Wi-Fi?" And Mr. Chu is like, he goes, "If I'm understanding your question correctly, no." He goes, we follow all these standards for any app that uses Wi-Fi." He goes, we're not breaking into anybody's information." He goes, it's a technical question. He goes, "that I can't," he goes, "I gave you my answer." He goes, "But if you want another answer," he goes, "I can get it for you." The fucking governor goes, "Yes, I would like that." Like, how fucking stupid are you? You're an elected official that doesn't know how fucking Wi-Fi works? Or is the American Electoral Congress so jaded to think that an app that comes from any other country, which by the way, about 85% of them do, that an app that comes from any other country is delving into your personal information? I'm sorry, does the standard high school student in the US who's playing on TikTok have state secrets on their computer? What are you stealing from the average TikTok user? Buddy, if TikTok wants access to my hard drive, knock yourself out. You're going to see some shit in there that you're not going to want to see, but hey, you have fun. I'm so fucking happy I'm Canadian. You have no idea.
Oh my God. Well, it's just, I know the video that you're talking about now because I remember seeing him. It was when he was going to court every day and they were asking him questions.
Yeah.
And they kept also labeling him as the wrong ethnicity. So they kept on referring, I want to say they kept referring to him as Chinese. But he's, I can't remember what he was. I can't even remember right now. But they kept on mislabeling him and he was like, "Okay, first off, I'm not part of the Chinese government. I am whatever." But I remember seeing those clips and watching the dumbass fucking questions, and you would literally see him look confused and be like,
exactly. Like, he's looking around like, did he really ask me if Wi-Fi is stealing secrets?
Well, what's asinine to me, it's like, okay, you think TikTok is going to be the thing that's stealing secrets. I mean, we could be wrong. It could be for all we know. What fucking secrets is it stealing that people aren't already posting online? I mean, it's not like TikTok's the first thing, and this is the thing that makes me laugh. There's TikTok that's the new thing that does small short videos now. We have YouTube, and most of the people who have TikTok also have YouTube. They have Patreon. They have Spotify. Apple Apple Podcast, Apple TV, all of these different things that they can upload to, that they put their content across everywhere. And let me tell you, all of the other apps that are American run, Microsoft, such a nasty cough, PlayStation,
Bless you.
God bless you. Fuck, even Nintendo, all of these different things, Steam, even for PCs, the gaming app that you can use, have all been hacked in the past 24 months. And we have all gotten a notice going, hey, sorry, there was a security breach and some of your stuff might have been taken. You might want to, I don't know, you might want to do something about that. I don't know. Fuck, even PayPal has been hacked. I have not once gotten a message from TikTok since I got the damn app saying, ooh, we were hacked. Not once.
Yeah.
Not once. And I don't have any, like, there's no important information on TikTok. There's absolutely nothing important on TikTok. I don't have any payment methods on it. I don't have anything that would be giving away any sort of state secrets.
I'm too
But
cheap to spend money.
all the other things, it's like, okay, all the other things when they're like, oh, Microsoft was hacked, I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, they have information on me. They have my card. They have my PayPal. Like, those are the things where I'm like, okay, you want to crack down on someone? Fucking crack down on those asshats. Leave TikTok alone.
But see, that's the thing. They won't crack down on platforms that are run by fascist motherfuckers. Whatever. X. Oh, I had a lump in my throat.
Oh, God bless you. You didn't choke.
Whew, hard to swallow.
Yeah. Funny when Elon Musk is around, it's hard to swallow anything around him. Or get air.
Like, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, you know, I have a lot of time on my hands. I'm retired. People, calm down. So when I'm cross-stitching, if I'm not watching a movie or powering through 19 seasons of Criminal Minds, I'll put on CNN or MNSBC or whatever it is, whatever the fucking letters are.
So many letters.
It's the NBC's All News channel.
Oh, okay.
MSNBC, I think it is. So, I hear the absolute stupidity, and I don't have another way to phrase it. I'm sorry. I hear the absolute stupidity of some of those people that are elected officials. I'm not talking your president either.
Oh, God. No. I mean, him, yes, obviously.
I'm talking lower. Governors, councilmen, like senators,
mayors. Okay, you know what? Here's a good example of a mayor being stupid. If I remember correctly, it was the New York mayor.
Rudy Giuliani.
Yes, the one who said, I'm not going to let people get those gigantic Slurpee things that they have that are like the size of a small baby, or a big toddler, really. Yeah. I'm not going to let those are illegal to have now. We're getting rid of those. And gets rid of them as though people can't go and just buy multiple cups to equate to the same thing. It's like, okay, you did nothing. You just got rid of a cup size. I remember literally seeing videos of people going, you can't fucking tell me what to do, and going in and grabbing 2 or 3 of the next biggest size after that one and filling the living hell out of those to come out and be like, yeah, look at this. I even got an extra one.
Okay, so you know I drink a lot of water. I have a 64-ounce water bottle that I usually drink 1 to 1.5 of those a day, plus coffee, tea. If you go to the continental US, I have to say continental, I've never been to Hawaii. If you go to the continental US, go to Wendy's.
Oof.
Wendy's is going to ask you what size you want that combo.
Mm-hmm.
You say large, you're getting 64 ounces of liquid. 64 ounces of liquid. The cup is so big that it comes down and it's tethered at the bottom so that it fits in your cup holder in your vehicle. There is not a soul on this planet that needs 64 ounces of pop a day. Unless you have some allergic reaction to drinking water. I'm not sure. But yeah, like, so in Canada, if you say you want a combo, it automatically comes with a medium.
I was just going to say
so
that.
Now our small is considered the kids.
Yeah, I was going to say small is like small.
Medium's about this big. Large is about that big. But our cups are not tapered. They're slim. They're slim cups. I think there's maybe 8 ounces of liquid in a large. Taking out the ice.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably. I'd say, yeah.
Maybe 8 to 12.
Yeah, I'd say probably.
I've never worked in the fast food industry, so
I know it's substantially less than the Americans.
Oh, absolutely. Even when McDonald's had the super size.
That was still even less.
It was the supersized McDonald's in Canada was still smaller than the medium in the US.
It's one of those things that you don't really think about until you go traveling stateside and you pick up things along the way and you're like, holy shit, why do you guys need so much? Like, and the fact that they ask you what size, like, to me, because we're from Canada and we know, like, medium is just a normal size. Like, it's I want to say it's just over 500 mils for the medium. So that'd be 2 cups of pop at that point in time, which is still above what you're supposed to be having if you're going to have it.
But okay, so that is what the cup holds.
Yes, but then you have 5 million pounds of ice in it.
Exactly. So
and then you're like,
you're probably, there you go. You're probably only getting 2/3 of a cup of liquid.
I was gonna say, if you're lucky, half the time. It's one of those things that you know that we all do when we go and we're like, okay, we get to fill our own ice. Okay, there we go. I got 5 pieces of ice. The rest is going to be drink.
There's one fast food place in Canada that does not put ice in their drinks, and that's A&W.
Yes,
because they don't want to water down their root beer.
No, and I would say, and one of the things that I noticed too is that their cup sizes are actually slightly smaller than everyone else's.
Yes, they are.
Because they actually give true amounts of liquid, which actually, for me, I appreciate. I like that they do that. So I wish more places, like, I'd like some ice, but I don't. The entire thing doesn't need to be like. It doesn't need to be like this is over a liter. So it doesn't need to be like all ice up to here and then just like liquid filling in the holes.
Starbucks.
Yeah, fucking $30 for a coffee because it's a specialty. And then it's just, okay, well, here's your specialty coffee. Okay, well, there's like an ounce of it. There's 1 shot of coffee. The rest is all just ice.
Listen, you want your milk whipped, I can do it for you for free.
You want it frothy? I'll just blow into it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, yeah, politicians are dumb.
Yes, they are. Like the entire banning of TikTok is just astonishing to me. And I will add a call out to any American creators out there. Please don't delete your accounts yet. Leave them up. The rest of the entire world can see the video still. Just because you can't create any new content doesn't mean that your current content can't still be viewed, can't still bring you in clicks and get you business from it. So please stop deleting your accounts because I mean, A, you can still make a living off of it. Maybe not as much as you could before, but you could still make something. And B, you're already at the point where it just says that it's temporarily banned and the government is currently fighting about it right now. I mean, as much as I don't like Trump, he's already said, yeah, I'm going to undo that. I want to bring it back. So for all you know, by this time next week, it could be back. So please don't delete your accounts. Please leave them up so that way we can all still enjoy the content that's out there. We'll continue to hope that you guys will get your TikToks back. And just please don't delete your accounts. Jesus.
Please, please.
Please leave it. I still love the content that's on there. However,
Absolutely.
if you're Canadian content creators, we will be posting a video for, hey, come give us a follow. We want to help connect people. Now, that being said, we would also like to have international followers too. So feel free, if you're from anywhere else in the world, feel free to reach out because we will happily support anyone around the world and show that it's a global community. It's not just a small little, oh, hey, yeah, it's just a one country at a time. No, it's a worldwide thing. We're all in it together. We all love the content that everyone makes. So feel free to reach out, especially like if you're indie authors, indie authors, artists,
you paint, you craft,
you do any of the things. I would say, be like Leslie Winkle.
With your hands.
Call me. So yes, I think that brings our rant of the TikTok ban to a mild end. Although no, I lied because I sent you a video last night. In terms of the Canadian version of our issues, what's his name? Polyev?
PP. Just call him PP.
PP. PP head. Couldn't help it. It was just right there. He apparently is pushing to ban it in Canada.
He's such a fucking moron.
Yes, he is. Because
please, Canada, do not vote for this man.
There's already been a bunch of people, and I think we should repost the guy's video on our TikTok thing that I sent you because he is a Canadian talking about the Canadian politicians and saying, hey, he wants to ban it in Canada. And now, at first, I'm sure PP was going to be getting a bunch of votes because people are so fed up with the Liberals. However, now that he said that, he's like, well, we're going to ban that here in Canada now. Suddenly, all of the comment section is, I'm not voting for you if that's what you think you're going to do. It's like, oh, I'm glad that he's making his own grave and just digging it a damn self. And he's like, oh, this is a nice deep hole. Oh, apparently you're going to keep going, bud.
Well, in Canada, we don't have amendments. We don't have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth amendment. But we do have freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
This is freedom of speech.
Yes.
TikTok is freedom of speech. How can you ban freedom of speech?
And again, that's exactly it.
Nobody is stealing your secrets. Nobody gives a flying fuck about your secrets.
Nope. And if you're that worried, then maybe we should be looking into you.
What did Frodo say to Gandalf when Gandalf was driving into the Shire for Bilbo's 111th birthday?
I don't know if I can say the exact words, but keep your secrets then. That part?
Exactly.
All right, that's fine. You can go ahead, keep your secrets.
And, for me, anybody, for all you people out there that need to know, anytime I can reference The Lord of the Rings, I will do so.
If there is an opportunity, she'd be running. Oh my God, there's going to be so many Lord of the Rings references in D&D next week. 100%, you guys
You shall not pass.
That's all I was thinking as I'm like, you are a sorcerer. Oh! And just so all of our listeners know, we are 100% probably going to talk from, like, there's going to be random points in time where we're going to talk about D&D and either the stupidity that we've done with it, the things that we're going to do with it, or that Dana has set all of the other player characters on fire. I mean, that's her very first choice of spells was Firebolt. So next thing coming is going to be freaking Fireball. I don't care that everyone's in the room.
Jeff should be an easy kill.
Well, you know what? His strength is ridiculously low. Like, for anyone who plays, they will know. When you do your rolls and you have anything less than 10 for a stat, you get a negative modifier. The lower the roll, the bigger the negative modifier. The one guy rolled, like, his roll was ridiculously high. Like, his base roll was 18 for dexterity, and then he had a +1 for his character thing, and then his modifier, I think, is like +2 or 3. So his dexterity is already above 20 when you add everything to it. Dude gonna be able to hop off everything. He is not. He's gonna get beat up by an ant. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to make an ant come around and just go bam.
He can have great dexterity, but if he's trapped in a room when I unleash a firebolt, he's still gonna die.
Are you hopping all around? Well, his body's just kind of flailing like a dead fish. So I'm definitely looking forward to that next week. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. And Dana gets to help her husband today finish up his character, so that way his is completed. I could already hear her. I twitch.
I am a gamer. I have been a gamer for a very long time. My son has taken on my love for gaming. My husband is not a gamer. So we have a lot of platforms that we use in our house to play on. Xbox, Steam, every fucking thing Nintendo ever made. Well, on the Nintendo Switch, we play a game called Overcooked.
Oh.
If you've never played, don't start. But if you have, you know it can turn the sweetest of people into absolute monsters.
Yeah. It really, I'm not even going to lie. It really can. Like, it can ruin friendships. So.
Or marriages.
You have that going towards you. Like, the one night, the last time that I played it with a group of friends, it was online. We all were playing on different things. And I was busy downloading it. This was before I had figured out my internet and got it working better, which was good, because the yelling that was happening between these sweet little friendly girls that I normally hang around with turned angry so fast.
So,
and it's 100% that game that will bring out the worst word. Fucking do what I said.
When we got home from the party last night, we watched the fourth episode of Traitors season 3, and then we had dinner. We got burgers from this place called GC Burgers on Tecumseh by here in church. They make smash burgers. Oh my God, Taylor, they're so fucking good. Anywho, so my brother's still here. I'm like, Norm, we should get Darren to play Overcooked with us. Darren's like, what's Overcooked? He's so innocent. So
Darren.
We give him two controllers. Norm has 2 controllers, and then I have my handheld controller. And I'm like, now listen, there's 3 of us. Everybody gets a job.
Yep.
The first board is going to be chaos because Darren's got to get used to the controls, but everybody has a job, and this is what we're going to do. By the 3rd board, I'm like, could you just stick to what you're doing? Get out of my way! Oh, yeah. It makes you very angry, that game.
It does. It literally puts you in a pressure cooker situation. And it tests, you know what? That's what people should use to test whether or not you have a strong friendship or a strong relationship. Because that game will put you through the ringer where you're sitting there screaming profanities out the ass at your best friend going, get the fucking fish! I said, get the goddamn fucking fish! Don't grab the goddamn rice! I have the rice, get the fish! There's a fire!
Last night it was, could you get the fucking fire extinguisher? Put the fucking fire out!
Yep.
And my husband didn't move fast enough, and the fire spread, half the counter burnt. It was so bad. It was so bad. Anywho,
I know that feeling completely.
So let's move on to what triggered Taylor this week.
It's not even this week. It's literally just, it's not even this week. It's today. So I woke up to like 52 different reels from one of my best friends. She's sitting there sending them away. I'm like literally opening my eyes. I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Like, okay. Going through watching them. And you never know what she's going to send. Because one second, it could be some sweet, cute little animal where I'm like, oh my God, I want it. Next second, could be something horrifyingly traumatizing that I never wanted to see in my life. And then the next, it could be a motivational speaker saying, hey, know your self-worth, know that you're amazing, know that you're great. And another one could be telling me to go fuck myself. So it's a wide range and the barometer goes all over the fucking place.
Sure does.
So she sent me this one this morning, and it's a guy talking about toxic traits and talking about how his wife and him go out for dinner, and one night his wife goes, you're not paying tonight. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, I always pay when we go out with these people, whether it be his friends or his family. I think at the time it's his family specific that he's talking about. But he's like, but I always pay. That's just how it's always been. I got a good paying job. I can pay for things now, so I just pay. And she's like, yeah, you pay every single time. And no one like gives you any thanks for it. No one ever offers to pay. So she's like, so tonight you're not paying. Like, oh, okay. So then they go to dinner. Everyone gets their thing. His wife loudly announces everyone's paying for their own separate bills. So they all get their bills, they pay, and no one talks to them after that. They get up, they don't give them hugs, they don't say love you, don't say bye, they just leave. And she was like, that's how it's always been for you. They only want things from you, they don't actually want you. And as Dana mentioned, it may have triggered me a tiny little bit.
Smidge.
Just a smidgen.
Just a smidge.
Climbing up onto my soapbox. Number one, all you people that are like that, go fucking fuck yourselves with a cactus.
Ooh, a cactus.
I was going to say,
well, that escalated quickly.
So, I have stories about this. So, number one, when I was in high school, I had a couple best friends. My one never took advantage of my mom. Like, my mom would take us out places. She would pay for things because she's like, you guys are kids. You don't have to pay. If you have money from your parents, okay, cool, bring it. But don't worry about it, kind of thing. Then as we got older, it was kind of like, okay, my one friend would bring money and be like, okay, hey, I brought money, or I brought snacks, I brought food for the sleepover, I brought drinks, I brought whatever, like she'd come with stuff. The other one would never do any of that. She would expect to be picked up at her place because she didn't have a driver's license or a car. So she'd expect to be picked up at her place that was across town.
Did she have legs?
She did.
Then she could have walked to the bus stop.
Yep, I was gonna say she wouldn't do it. She'd just be like, okay, so I'll see you at whatever time. And so she expected that. She then began to just expect that my mom would pay for her stuff, like going to the movies, going to the gym, any stuff like that. And it was like, okay, no. So then we started wording things differently where it's like, okay, hey, if you have money, do you want to come with my mom and I to go see whatever movie was out at that point in time? And suddenly you just saw her go, oh, uh,
Oh, I have to pay?
oh no, I don't have any money for it. Oh, okay, maybe next time. And her her nose went out of joint at that point in time and started spending less time together because she was like, well, I don't have the money for it. Okay. And I just walk away. It's like, well, guess you should probably get a job like the rest of us, because by this point in time, it started in high school and continued into once I got to college. And it was one of those things of, okay, you're literally using me for rides. You're using me for getting you food, all this stuff. I'm like, no, my mom's not paying for you. You are not her child. She birthed me. I come with responsibility. She has to feed me. I am hers. She brought me into the world. Haha. Like, even I fully admit, even to this day, my mom still will put money into my wallet. She'll give me money for whatever we're going to, like, if I go out and grab food, she'll just give me money. I don't think twice about it because she's my mom, but I'll still go out. It's like, okay, doesn't mean that I don't buy stuff or grab other stuff when I'm out. Like, okay. But again, it's the difference of she's my mother, and I know because she sits there and goes, okay, here's the money. Yeah, here you go. You're going to use this to go grab it. I don't just automatically always assume that, hey, yeah, I mean, I'll do it once in a while where I walk and go, money into hand.
Rights due, bitch face.
Yeah, you owe me money. So I'll tease her about it. But in honesty, I don't care. Like, she even gives me money towards my Visa. Mind you, it's because my Visa is the one that gets used for all the Amazon purchases and everything else. And her gaming addiction on her phone, where I just get little things. Oh, look, so did you spend more money on that game again? Maybe. Like, yeah, well, this bill that I just got says that you did. But in all honesty, I don't care. She's my mother. I'll pay for her. It's fine. Even when she gets old, I will purchase her a nurse to come take care of her. He'll be a cute looking little gay man, I'm sure. But then my other big issue, and I'm 100% calling my father out on this. So if anyone's wondering, he's going under the bus. He was atrocious for it with his own parents, where he just expected that they would pay for anything and everything. And he expected it from a young age throughout his adult life. And he expected that just whatever was theirs was his. So an example would be when he came over to our house, because his parents lived with my mom and I, because he didn't want anything to do with them really in the divorce. So his new wife couldn't give two shits. Never really put any effort into it. Didn't help when my papa was dying, so they can go fuck themselves. But an example of it was when he came over. He never came over just to visit them and say, hey, mom, dad, how are you doing? Love you guys, anything like that. It was he came over and I watched him go into the storage room, grab out the original. And my papa, back in the day when I was younger and before that, would always buy the newest technology, which never turned out because he never picked the right one. For example, I have in my closet, and I will never get rid of them because I love them. They make me think of him, and I loved them growing up. I have laser discs, which I don't know. Do you know what those are? So he bought the laser disc and he bought the high-end laser disc player where it
Oh.
automatically did the flipping so it would read side B after side A was done, because I have all the Star Wars on laser disc. Now the laser discs are bigger than my head. For anyone who doesn't know, they're giant CDs size of my head. Now, this was supposedly the new it thing. It was going to replace VHS. No, DVDs. did. And VHS still did better than Laserdisc. So he would always grab those. He also had beta tapes. If I remember, that's the name of it, which was the precursor to VHS. So he went with whatever was coming out. He chose the opposite one that was going to win. So he had, like, growing up, I remember he had a giant projector screen, and it was, I think, 9 foot by like 7 foot, so 7 feet tall. Like, it basically touched the ceiling in the basement. It was way too big for the tiny ass basement that they had, but he had to have it. And I can remember Jurassic Park being played down there, and it scaring the living shit out of me as a
No
child
doubt.
because he had the best surround sound with it too. The old school still works to this day, and it's, correct, if I'm 32, it's got to be like 40 years old for the equipment, but it's the old school, well built. So my father came over years later when my grandparents were living with us, and he just helps himself, grabs the speakers, grabs the entire sound equipment, all of it, and just leaves with it. And then afterwards, I went down and talked to my grandparents. And, like, did he even ask if he could have it? Like, oh, well, he said that he was just going to come over and take it. Why? What if you guys wanted it? Like, well, we're not using it, so it's okay. He's just going to store it for us, which was his famous line. Oh, I'll just store it for you guys since you guys aren't using it. Oh, I'll just store these tables, these antique tables for you guys because you're not using them. Oh, I'll take the antique lamp that you guys aren't using. I'll take the stereo equipment that you guys aren't using. I'll take, and that's exactly how he always was. He was completely a taker, still is. If his parents had anything left to give, he would fucking take it from them. And he would just be like, okay, thanks, and then leave. Not actually visit with his parents, not spend time with them in their elderly age, but would just take the shit and go. And then when they would, like, have, because he's an IT guy, not that you would know it by how he
Dr.
treated.
Stool.
Yep, that's right. Um, he would act like it was the biggest frickin' inconvenience to go and help his parents when they were saying, "Hey, our computer's not working." It'd be 2, 3 weeks later of them saying, "Yeah, our computer's still acting up, so we can't really play on it too much." What do you mean it's acting up? Did you talk to your son? Yeah, he said that he'll try to get by when he can. Try to get by when he can. He has to drive past your place in order to, at one point in time, in order to get to his girlfriend's. So this is how it went. You remember Riverside Fabricating over
Yeah.
on Lozon there? No, Central? I can't remember which street that is. But over there, him and his girlfriend at the time, now wife, worked there. My grandparents lived just up the street at the Trinity Towers, the apartment buildings, and then she lived over on Riverside Drive. So in order to go from work to home, she would have to pass by them, and he would go to her place after work to go hang out with her. Excuse me. And he would not have time, according to him, to stop by and check in on his parents. It's literally 30 seconds from door to door, including an elevator ride. You're going to tell me that you can't make it there? And then when he wouldn't make it to our place to help them out because they were in the basement, he would say, "Oh, I don't have time." Okay. I lived on Academy Drive just off of Norfolk and Dougal, Dougal being the main artery. And Academy Drive was 45 seconds off of Dougal, maybe, probably less. And then he lived over on one of the main streets on Cabana. So that's not far.
No.
That's not far at all. He would still never make time. I was like, okay, well, if you're not willing to make time for your parents, but you expect them to give you everything, you expect them to pay for everything, And his thought, the moment that my grandparents lost all their money, because at one point in time my grandparents were extremely, extremely wealthy. And my papa made bad, horrible, horrible, horrible stock options that then lost him everything. And my father realized that, oh my God, he's going to have to get a job. He's going to have to be an adult. His parents can't pay for everything. Because up until then, they paid for his visa, they paid for his brand new car, they paid for his insurance, they paid for his gas, they paid for his food, they gave him money for outings, all of it. So when they lost everything and they said, hey, kid, we can't afford any of this anymore, like we're going to be living in a car kind of thing, his thought was, well, I don't want anything to do with them. They screwed me out of my inheritance. Was never meant to be your money. Get your fucking own money. And if you think that that's how that's going to be, you're an asshole. You shouldn't expect anything from anyone for that. And it drives me up a motherfucking wall when people are that way, because I watched it with my father my entire lifetime, and how he then treated his parents when they were no longer of use to him. And then look at him and go, okay, you now think that they're useless because they have nothing to offer. All right, so that's how you feel towards your friends? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what kind of example do you think you're setting for your own child when that's how you're going to behave? Like, mama raised me, you're good to your friends, you're good to your family, for those who you have around, and you don't take advantage of them. Like, okay, Dana and I could go out for freaking ice cream. I will happily buy her ice cream. Am I going to do it every single time? No. Am I going to do it
trying
because
to kill me, folks? I can't eat ice cream.
Okay, now wait a minute. She's not a supposed to, but that does not stop her. The blizzards that she has proves that, where she's like, it's gonna hurt so good.
It's gonna be a good pain.
It's exactly it. So to me, it drives me insane when you have people who perpetrate that mentality through life of, well, I keep them around because I'm going to take. They're givers. I'm going to take everything. They want to buy me stuff. I'm going to take it from them and never pay them back for it. Like, okay, it doesn't. And now when I'm saying this, it doesn't have to be tit for tat. Like, it doesn't have to be, I bought her ice cream. Now she's got to buy me ice cream. I'm not going to keep score of it. It's not going to matter to me. It's not going to be one of those things of, oh my God, now I owe her something. No, friendship is about give and take. Sometimes you're going to be a giver, sometimes you're going to be a taker. There's nothing wrong with that. It's, you put kindness out then, where it's okay. I bought Dana dice for D&D. She bought trays for me. It's give and take. It doesn't have to be equal. It doesn't have to be anything. It's the thought that counts for it, where you're just going, hey, I saw this zombie thing. It made me think of Dana. Bam. So I grabbed it and brought it over to her and just went, okay, just randomly thought of you. That's it. No ulterior motives, no ulterior reasoning for it. Just here it is.
So let me tell you my experience with that, because it's backwards. I was the person that had a lot of stuff done for them. So I have a friend who we met when the internet was just a little baby. And he lives over in Europe. At the time that we met, we were both in our early 20s. I'm 53 now. We were both in our early 20s, and he had nothing. Like, he worked, but he was in university. So after talking online for a while, he said that he was coming to Amherstburg, which is like you could flick a booger from my house to Amherstburg.
I was like, flick a pea, and you're like, flick a booger.
So he said, do you want to meet up? Absolutely. So we met. And it was the start of a 30-year relationship, friendship. At Christmas, so he did not have a good relationship with his parents and had not spoke to them since he was in his early teens. So within a year or two of us being friends, he started calling my parents mom and dad. He would come at Christmas. He would fly to Canada at Christmas, pick him up at the airport, and he stayed at our house. My parents always made sure that there were presents under the tree with his name on them. If we went out for dinner, he came with us. My parents paid. If we ordered pizza, my parents paid, you know. And this went on for a couple years until he graduated. And then he got a really good paying job. I had a baby. He had his job. We kind of not broke apart, but there was a period of time where our communication was very sparse. So when my husband and I decided to get married 3 years after our kid was born and we built a house, I asked my friend if he would come for the wedding, and he's like, absolutely. Well, when he got here, he arrived about 2 weeks before our wedding, and he was like, no, we had a very small wedding. And he said to me, he goes, I would have loved to have stood up in your wedding. I'm like, well, you still can. I mean, my 53-year best friend, Anne, was my maid of honor. And I had Michelle as a bridesmaid. But I said to Kev, I said, you can be my man of honor.
Hell yeah.
He said, okay. So then we threw my brother in on Norm's side to kind of even
the numbers out.
So we got him a tuxedo, rented him a tuxedo, the whole 9 yards, right? My husband and I went on our honeymoon. We were gone for 2 weeks. Kev stayed at our house. The house was his. He could do whatever the hell he wanted. We'd stocked the fridge and the cupboards before we left. So as time went on and he got more prolific. Oh, fuck me. As he got better at his job, he started making more money. Well, we both have a mutual love of the Detroit Red Wings NHL hockey team. And when he would come to visit, I'd drive over to Metro Airport and pick him up. And he'd be like, let's get tickets and go to the hockey game. And at the time, I wasn't working because I now had 2 kids. And I was pretty much had my hands full, right? So it was just my husband working. And I would say, I'll talk to Norm if I can swing the cost of a ticket. We'll absolutely go. No. Don't worry about it. I'll buy the ticket for you. Are you sure? Yeah, don't worry about it. Well, that snowballed into playoff games, season tickets, road trips to Pittsburgh, Chicago, Toronto, New Jersey, Dallas to the NHL draft. And whenever I offered to pay, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. And these are small things, right? And I got told by a lot of people that friend of yours spoils you, and I agreed. I'm like, yeah, he does, but I can't stop him from doing what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2019 came along, and his significant other, personally, I think, might have had one of the first cases of COVID in Europe, because she was sick on Monday and dead by Friday.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Leaving behind him and 2 boys. My best friend, I said to him when he called me to tell me, I'm like, do you want me there? And he was like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I called my husband and I told him what happened, and I started looking at flights. I didn't care about the cost. I started looking at flights because my friend needed me. He told me not to come. Okay. She passed away in February. In March, he says to me, dude, can you come for the week? Now, I was working full time. I didn't have the luxury of just saying to my boss, fuck it off for a week, ciao. I lied to my employer and told them that my mother needed medical care. My father had passed away the year before. Not even a year, it was just a few months. And I was my mom's primary caregiver. They're like, yeah, go ahead. You have 11 weeks that you can take whenever you need them. I don't get paid for them. Keep that in mind. So I took the week off. I flew to Luxembourg. I spent the week there with him. So while he went and played hockey, I watched his kids. While he went to work every day, I watched his kids. I fed his kids. I clothed his kids. I did his laundry. Things that I would normally do here, I did for him because I know he needed it. 6 days later, I flew home, jet lagged as fuck. It's Europe. I'm in Canada. Jet lagged as fuck. Got into Detroit at 7:30 p.m. Sunday night. Went to work at 5 a.m. Monday morning. Exhausted. And then as spring came around, he asked me if my daughter could go and spend the summer with him to take care of his 2 boys. He would pay her. They worked out an agreement. She went. Halfway through the summer, he decided to send a ticket to her boyfriend, Phil, so that she had somebody there. And he flew Phil to Luxembourg. Well, I'm not sure what happened because I wasn't there, but I heard each, as they say, there's 3 sides to every story, right? I tended to gravitate towards my daughter because she sent me screenshots of conversations where he was verbally abusive, basically called her stupid, immature. Phil, her boyfriend, was going through university to become an RN, a nurse, registered nurse. And he told Phil, that's not a good job. You'll never make the money I make. Now, my friend is very wealthy. Very, very wealthy. When Sam and Phil came home, they all came home. Now, again, I don't have the luxury of just taking a fucking week off whenever I please. So I was on day shift. So I would spend my nights with him and the boys, get home at 10 p.m., shower, make my lunch, go to bed, and get up at 4 a.m. for work. Go work an 8-hour shift and meet them wherever they were to hang out with them. went to Niagara Falls for the weekend so that the boys could see Niagara Falls, went to Greenview Aviaries, just a lot of things that we could do. Well, at the time, I was also waiting for a consultation call for knee replacement surgery from an orthopedic surgeon. I was going to join them in Florida for a week and go to Disney. The trip was paid for already. Again, he never let me pay for anything. Only the odd time was I able to sneak in a meal, or like if we went out for dinner to the Keg, I would say, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, then I'd go pay the bill and come back, right? So that he didn't pay it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I never attempted to give back.
Yeah.
Well, when I got the phone call to say that there was a cancellation, could I come in on Tuesday? I was supposed to fly to Florida on the Sunday. So I sent him a message. I'm like, listen, this is really important to me. I can't walk without pain.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see this doctor. Can I just, I'll go to the appointment, then I'll fly out and I'll meet you guys on Tuesday. The message that transpired that was absolutely horrific, where he accused me of only being his friend for the things that he could give me. He said I used him, that I was selfish. I never did anything for him. I was never there for him. I never helped him with his boys. And that was like somebody took a nail gun and just shot my heart 1,000 times. Because this was, at the time, 27 years of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Where my kids called him uncle. My parents called him son. It was just absolutely horrific. So being that person that was told that I took advantage of somebody. What's that a saying? You could have knocked me over with a feather. That was pretty much me at that time.
Oh God,
because I never once assumed he would pay for everything. Never once. I would have my debit card out and he'd put that away. What are you doing? Put that away. What are you doing? I make more money than you. Our friendship is very strained. We do talk on occasion, but it's not like it used to be.
oh God, no.
He sent me a message last year, March 24th. My birthday is March 23rd. Sent me a message on March 24th, and he's like, happy birthday, dude. I didn't forget. I was just watching hockey. How would you take that?
Shows where his importance is when it's, I was watching hockey, oh well. I missed it.
From March 24th to December 25th, we flatlined.
Yeah, understandably so.
And then I'm making Christmas dinner, and I get a Merry Christmas, dude, with pictures of the two little boys that I called my nephews, because my brother being gay, my husband being an only child, I'm never going to have nieces and nephews.
Uh-huh.
So I always called them my nephews. They called me Auntie Dude. So he sent that message and he sent those pictures, and it hurt so fucking bad because it was like he was taunting me. And I'm like, be the bigger person, be the bigger person, be the bigger person. You can do this. Merry Christmas. And it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a person that uses people. I don't believe in that. I'm not a selfish person. If say I said to Taylor, hey, you want to go for breakfast? And she says to me, I'm a little short this month. Bills were a little bit more than I expected. Maybe Mama didn't do so well on her business. So I kind of got to save my money. I would more than likely 99.9% of the time I'd say, don't worry about it. Let's just go for breakfast.
Oh, exactly. Like it's one of those things. I mean, it was no different than when
I wouldn't throw it back in her face.
Well, exactly.
If we had an argument. I don't think we'd ever have an argument.
I was going to say, I can't think of something. Probably over the fact of, no, Sigourney Weaver is a good actress.
Or better yet, stop fucking killing me. You're alerting the horde.
Stop shooting me in the kneecap, god damn it. 100% accurate. Those are what our arguments will be. I said, don't stab me in the leg.
Yeah, so
but I'm sacrificing you.
It was very hard to hear, to have somebody tell me that I treated them that way when I didn't. I never did. I never would.
Oh, God, no. You're the least likely person to ever be a user on the frickin' planet at this rate. Just because I hate it when, obviously, I don't like the people who are like my father, where they just take everything and then they're just, if they can't have anything else from you, they cannot take anything else from you, including your happiness. Then they're just like, all right, well, I'm out. So it drives me insane. I saw it, where the hell? I think I just saw it last night. A post about, like, I have one of my favorite sayings. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. And I love that saying so much because it's one of those things of, okay, if people are only there for the good times, that's fine. But know that they're only there for the good times. Don't think that they're going to be there during the dark times that come along, because they obviously either can't handle it or don't want to handle it.
Yeah.
And don't think that you're worth it at that point in time. So put the people in the right categories where they belong. So don't put someone who can say, oh yeah, I'm here for you, but then doesn't answer when you're having a bad night or you're in the darkness or you're suicidal or anything like that. Don't put them up here in this tier. Don't.
I love how you threw that in.
It's this thing. It's just tossing it out here.
If the shoe fits.
If it fits, wear it. Or you already do.
Taylor's reference being I was shit on over the summer by somebody who I was concerned about their mental health, and I respectfully said to them, if you feel like you're going to do something, please call the suicide hotline. And they fucking ghosted me. Read my message and fucking ghosted me.
And those are the other people who, when I want to make it clear for all the listeners, when I say takers, I don't just mean people who take your shit or take your money and that's all they're there for. Those people fucking suck too. Obviously, I have the examples of them. Don't like those people. It's made me change my outlook on how I deal with friends and have friendships, where I will do the thing where it's, hey, I will buy you the ice cream. Hey, I'll buy you breakfast. It's fine. But there was another guy who was really bad for that, where every time he would try to get breakfast paid for by someone else in the group, because he would sit there and go, oh, well, I don't actually have money this week. And for the first little bit, a couple of us would take turns paying for him. And then after a while, we were both like, oh, no money? That's okay. We'll try you next week. We'll go out for breakfast anyways. And suddenly he would find a few bucks left in his account for that. I'm like, oh, suddenly you found a different card in a different bank account. And oh, look, you found money in your pants. So don't like that. But also the people who are energy drains, who come along and all they do is bring you down the entire time. They're still takers. They're just takers on an energetic level, where they don't really want you around for support per se. They want a very specific type of support. They want you to help them feel like, oh yeah, I'm right. I should be this negative all the time. Oh yeah, I'm right. Poor me, poor me, poor this. And don't
It's
like when you
the
have options for them of, hey, this is what you can do to help. I'm here for you, but I cannot offer. If you cannot tell your friend no without them getting mad, they are not your friends.
it's the misery loves company mentality, right?
Yes, 1
Um,
million percent.
there's somebody in my life that is
Mhm.
constantly negative, and there are times when I have to refuse hangouts because I need to recharge
Yes.
because their negativity is starting to affect me
Hmm.
and I need to recharge, and all the gods old and new, please forgive me, I lie.
Hmm.
I'll be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I can't do that.
Oh, I've already got something planned
I'm
with
bathing the
Norm.
cat that night.
The cat needs her hair shampooed.
And it's true. It's misery loves company, and if they
Hmm.
can bring you down, they fucking will. And they are absolute energy suckers.
Oh
And
yeah.
I feel sorry for people like my daughter. She's an empath,
Hmm.
so any negativity around her, holy fuck, man, you literally see it being the life being sucked out of her.
Yep. It's
So
true. It's one of those things where you can literally see it happening. And I mean, to me, in my experience, those are usually the people who are the takers of the monetary things along with your energy because they will take everything they can from you.
yeah,
And I'm not saying that they're necessarily bad people. Some of them are 100% because they're not actually there to be your friends. They just want you for whatever you can offer them. And if all you can offer them is friendship, that's not enough for those people. If all you can
yeah,
offer them is a smile, a hug, and support and words, it's not enough for those people. And it's important to know your own self worth at that point in time and say, hey, you know what? That's fine. I had you. There's different tiers of friendship. I had you up here. My mistake. I'm going to just put you down here at the bottom. You're going to get the base value here, the basic package. It's okay. That's fine. I now know. Bad on me. So it's best just to, mitigate your expectations.
my scale for that, there's um basic Dana, fun Dana, fucking awesome Dana. And depending on how you treat me, you get one of those four Danas.
Oh my God. I love it. And that's the perfect way to do it, though. It's like you're buying into a tier of Netflix.
That's right. That's right.
Do you
That's
want
right.
the 4K HD Dana, or do you just want the SD Dana? Like it's going to be the low grade. You can still see it, but you're going to see some pixels.
It's gonna be the okay. How's it going, Dana?
Yeah.
As opposed to I haven't fucking seen you in 5 minutes. Give me a hug, Dana.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. Takes learning to get to that point. My learning was watching that throughout high school and college, and also watching my father do it and going, no,
I don't want to be one of those people. I don't
like
like those people in my life.
I don't like those people. I don't want to be one of those people. So I am hyper aware. I'm like, okay, if I go and pick up a friend, like, like a super simple thing that I do is I'll pick up my one of my best friends, Brooke, for work. I have to drive a little bit out of my way, but you know what? To me, I don't care. At least then I know that she's making it to work. At least then I know that she's making it home safe and sound after work. And if we have time, I will stop off at Tim Hortons for her because I know that she loves to have coffee. She's a coffee whore. She is completely. So, but when we go through it, She doesn't have to, but each time, like, she'll be like, "Hey, yeah, okay, grab me an extra large double, an old fashioned plain, and grab whatever else you want." So my reward, I suppose, to phrase it that way, for driving her home, besides the sparkling conversations that we have, is that I get myself a chocolate chip muffin, and that makes me happier than a pig in shit. So it's one of those things where I'm like, it doesn't even have to be, because I know some people are like, okay, well, if I'm going to drive you, then you have to pay whatever, 10, $20 per ride. Like, I'm not going to charge her for the ride. That just seems weird to me. I'm like, okay, I'm willing to do it. You don't have to owe me anything. So long as you remember to say thank you and please and okay, love you kind of thing. Like, that's it. Like, I don't have the expectation of, okay, yeah, well, fork it over, bitch. I mean, she's bought me breakfast a couple times for paying back for, like, the one day I went and helped her pick up a Christmas tree. Then we went out for breakfast afterwards. She's like, okay, no, put away your card. I got this. Like, okay, but I didn't expect it. I still had my card out and was ready to pay, because that is how it should be. You shouldn't just be sitting there going, well, obviously I did a thing for you, so you have to do a thing for me.
Yeah.
Make with the money, bitch.
Yeah.
So, yes. So that's my rant. I feel better now.
Tis a good rant. Tis a good episode today. I think we covered a lot of stuff. TikTok ban. Fun times.
And I even put in the hashtags, I put a hashtag, sorry I was sleepy, because I yawned a bunch of times. I'm sorry, guys. There was some sleepiness going on, and it was sleepy. Don't come at me. Don't come at me. I wasn't bored. I was just sleepy. I apparently wanted more sleep today. I don't know. I was lacking oxygen.
Now, if you've made it to the end of this episode, which thank you if you have, come find us on TikTok, because here on Spotify, we do a weekly show, but on TikTok, we like to post an ethical question once a week.
Yes.
So, yeah, like, we'll probably do that on Tuesday and then film our answers on Thursday or Friday. So yeah, come join us on the Canadian TikTok.
Yeah, the Canadians are invading. We're taking over. It's all
Boot time.
now. The boot time.
And we hope you all have a wonderful week. And ciao for now.
Ciao, everyone. Be good.